Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be here with you. I know that I have to be short because we are well beyond our finishing time, but I would like to share a few ideas, a few thoughts with you. Well, first, let me just add that the European University Association, which I chair, has more than 18 million students. I'm pretty sure that some of you have studied in one of the universities of our association. We had in several sessions today, and also in a session, in a parallel session organized by the European Women's Rectors Association, the issue came up that many of the data which reflect the situation of women in research, in academia, and technology, in business, etc., are improving. However, there are two areas where stubbornly the improvement is very slow. One of them are the STEM disciplines, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and the other one is in leadership positions. So this is something where we have to be working on continuously and go on. Now, being in Poland, of course, I wanted to say something about Marie Skłodowska, but also known as Madame Curie, but several of my previous speakers have done it. So I'm only going to add one single point, which I think has not been mentioned, and that is that after her first Nobel Prize, when she was proposed to be a member of the Académie des Sciences, she was not accepted because she was a lady. That with a Nobel Prize in physics. So the situation has changed a lot, and we have seen it certainly today. Now, what I wanted to think a little bit together with you about is about bridging and the role of women in bridging tech divides. Technology divides society in separated groups. Not everybody deals with technology in the same way. And I chose the example of the aging population, the part of our society which is beyond a certain age, say my age or beyond my age. This part of the society is quite decoupled from what is happening in technology. Now you can say, okay, that's not a problem. I mean, they are retired, they enjoy life. If they don't know exactly how to use technology, that is not such a serious problem. Now, there are several reasons why this is not correct. One of them is, for instance, you need today, in order to use your bank account, you basically have to have a minimal computational skills or at least a use of internet. And many of these people don't have that. So you can say, okay, we can teach them. But there's a more important reason, which particularly is important for Europe. As you know, life expectancy is in most countries still going up. And that is okay. But you also know that that will economically not be sustainable. And most of the countries are thinking how to go around this problem. Of course, the solution, and in some of the Scandinavian countries that has been done already, is to correlate the retirement age with the life expectancy. So if the life expectancy goes up, the retirement age has to go up. Now that creates a new problem, and that is very often people of my age or around my age, since they do not have the IT skills, the company where they work, the place where they work, are really not anymore interested in them. So this divide, this technological divide with the older people has to be somehow cut short and avoided. And there, certainly women very likely will do much better than men. Now, there are several reasons why I say this. Not only the reason of the marvelous people we have been watching and hearing to this morning, but also the fact that there is now a study which was published 1 month ago in Science, and which is a study about the relation of the preferences of women, what that has to do with where they live, with the economic development, and with the role of women where they live. And I'm going just to read only one sentence, which is the conclusion. Here it is. So the conclusion is, they observed, it's a study, a survey with 80,000 people in almost 80 countries. They observed that the more that women have equal opportunities, the more they differ from men in their preferences. I guess that for some of you this is surprising, for others it is not surprising, but this is a proof of the value of the reason why diversity, why having in boards and etc. women and men, why that adds so much value. But of course, that is also one of the reasons why women, because if you look at the detailed studies, what preferences they have, which they have different from the preferences of men, the ones they have are ideally suited to the issue of the tech divide. I would like to finish with a few thoughts about artificial intelligence, because I heard this morning a little bit, then I had to leave, and now I've been hearing about artificial intelligence. Now, in the context of women in STEM, or women in science and technology, or women in general, there is a danger in artificial intelligence, and when I talk to people who know much more than I do about these things, they have not been able to really tell me that the danger is not there. The danger is the following. Usually, artificial intelligence, and I'm not saying anything about artificial intelligence, how it will be in 30 years or 40 years from now, because I have no clue about that. But artificial intelligence today learns basically from data. Now, data reflects, of course, the biases of society. And it is extremely difficult. It is relatively easy from data to extract correlations. It is extremely difficult from data to extract causal relations. It is extremely difficult to know why the data are what they are. Therefore, if machines learn from data, they, of course, will take over these data which reflect biases. In the case of women, very clear biases. You can say with most of the applications of artificial intelligence that is irrelevant, and that is true. But if one uses artificial intelligence to the issue of women in society, there will be very clearly in the data a bias, which is not clear whether artificial intelligence really is able to separate it. And there are some other reasons, the difficulty that artificial intelligence has in following a counterfactual reasoning, precisely because counterfactual reasons, of course, are not based on facts, on data, but are based on imagining data which are different from the data which correspond to the reality, which is an extremely important way of defining goals and being creative. And with this, I finish. I would like to thank the organizers, Perspectivi, for this marvelous summit. And of course, Bianca, she's doing a great job, and I was very happy to meet her father. I didn't know that person, who is an old acquaintance of mine, was the father of Bianca. So now, Bianca, thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for all what you're doing here.